Singing Dutchman Productions. Hello and welcome to Doug's Front Porch, a podcast where I get to sit down with friends, old and new, and have honest conversations. Today, I continue the tradition that I've been doing now for the last 5 years of welcoming some of my seniors, graduating seniors, on the front porch right before they get ready to graduate from high school. And I'm so excited that 4 of some of my favorite students out of the class of 2024 are joining me today. So without further ado, Griffin Redmon, Sofia Dressler, Elise Cygan, and Emily Shetler, welcome to the Front Porch.
Thank you.
Thanks, Griff. You're the only one that responded. That was really nice. It's just like class.
Absolutely.
So I usually start every episode the same way so that my audience gets a chance to kind of get to know the person that I'm interviewing. But since we have 4 of you today, we're going to do that, but we're going to break it up a little bit. And we'll start with Griff. Griff, tell everybody, who you are, where you were, where you grew up, and tell us a little bit about the things that you were involved in at school. Were you in sports? Were you in music? That type of stuff. Boil it down into the elevator pitch. Who is Griffin Redmon?
Okay. So my name is Griffin Redmon. I go by Griff if you know me well. I was born in PA, lived in Maryland for about 10 years, so most of my life. So I still call myself a Maryland boy. But I moved back here around middle school and came into Central Mountain High School my freshman year. That is where I met Mr. Maidenford. I had him for German 1, and I've had him every year since. I played basketball freshman and sophomore year, but kind of just grew out of it. But I play volleyball now, but we don't offer it at the school, so got to kind of deal with that. But that's about it. And I'm the president of German National Honor Society, which is a great title, and I'm glad to hold.
There we go. Sophia, you're next.
So I don't know, it's really hard to encompass a person in just a couple sentences.
Everybody,
But
you are now getting to know Sofia Dressler, because this is who she is. That was the kind of answer I expected from her right off the bat. Sophia, do your best, please.
I'll try it. So I'm involved in a lot of things at school. So first I'm president of National Honor Society and president of Rotary Club. And Elise is actually the treasurer. We were co-treasurers last year together. So that was pretty fun. I really liked the service involved with that. I was a member of orchestra for 2 years, and now I play violin, not with the school, but I play with my church in the worship band, and so I'm involved with that, doing violin and vocals. I'm also involved in track and field and cross country. I think one of the most important things that I do at school, though, is the CTE drafting and design program. So I just got involved this year with a co-op program and working at First Quality.
First Quality is a really big company here in central Pennsylvania, and we have a strong diversified occupations program at Central Mountain, and Sophia has taken advantage of that. Also, real quick, Sophia, you have to talk about Skills USA real quickly.
Oh, yeah. So Skills USA is a club through CTE programs that allows students to compete in competitions that have to do with their CTE program. So I compete in related technical math, and I won the state competition. So I'm moving on to nationals in the 3rd week of June, I think.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's great. Emily, why don't you go next?
So throughout high school, I've been a member of orchestra. I've been in orchestra since like 3rd grade, so it's a big part of who I am. I play the violin. When I was younger, I did dance, but I quit that beginning of last year. I think I do a lot of academic stuff. Like I've taken a lot of AP classes, including AP Euro, which I think was a good decision for me, just because it's so fun.
I think it was a good decision too.
I'm in band and orchestra clubs. I'm the president of the orchestra club, and I'm in freshman academy, NHS. Those are the
Tell our audience what Freshman Academy is briefly. Emily, what's Freshman Academy?
Oh, so we mentor and tutor freshmen just to acclimatize them to high school because it can be a tough transition for them.
It sure can. Elise, you're up.
All right. Let's see. I'm involved in quite a few things, especially in school. I'm actually the secretary of the German club. It's one of my greatest honors. And then, as you said, treasurer of the Rotary Club, secretary of the class of 2024, but not for that much longer. What else? I play soccer. Played soccer since I was like 6. I love it. I'm a referee now for our local soccer teams, which is what I just came from today, so I'm a little bit tired. But there's that, and then I also do a little bit of local theater. Was in the high school production this past spring, and as of very recently, I do track and field as well, and I do all the throwing events. So
I didn't realize you were doing track this year. Okay, I learned something, Elise. I learned something. All right, so we got to know everybody a little bit, what they kind of are into and things that they're involved in at school. And I know that all 4 of these students are also involved in things outside of school too. These are not the stereotypical lazy high school students. I chose these guys for a reason because of their accomplishments and the kind of people that they are. And I want to ask all of you this question now, as we are getting closer and closer to June 4th, which is graduation day for you guys. Describe what you're feeling right now. And anybody can go first, doesn't matter. But somebody has to go first.
I'll take it, Mr. Maidenford.
Go ahead, Sophia.
So I'm really excited because I'm very excited about where I'm going to college in the fall. I'm going to Notre Dame, and I don't know, I had a really good senior year, and I'm excited for the summer. But then again, like I do feel a little bit scared for that experience because I'm going to be so far away from home. But honestly, I'm really happy with all of the experiences that I've had here at Central Mountain and the friends that I've made. I really think I've made the most of my time here. So yeah, I'm just kind of content with my experience here and glad to move forward for the next chapter.
Okay. Anybody else?
I would say I feel the same way, and I'm really just looking forward to this month, just finishing out school with all the fun random events that go on at the end of the school year.
So somewhat excited, Elise, I take it.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
All right. Emily or Griff?
I think it'll be bittersweet. I'm excited to end, but I think it'll be kind of hard to, I guess, adjust to the real world after high school.
We'll come back to that point here in a minute. Griff, what are you feeling right now?
It's kind of a mix of being like just blown away by how fast like these last just 4 years have gone. I mean, it's nuts to think about it. Like I never honestly like thought, we'd be senior year, be graduating in a couple of weeks, but very appreciative as well. Like Sophia said, I feel like I've made the most of my time, and I'm really excited for what the future holds.
So besides Emily, none of you have any sense of sadness or melancholy about leaving, or are you all just really excited to take that next step?
I'm definitely sad. There's definitely that was kind of tied to like the blown away. Like it's kind of hit me by storm, like in a way. Like I know like it's all kind of hit me. It hasn't hit me till like last week or a couple weeks ago. Like, man, this is all kind of coming to an end. And you kind of realize the good in all of it and what this part of life is like when it starts to like kind of be in the rearview mirror, I guess.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I feel like things don't always tend to hit me, or I don't feel sad about them until afterwards, until I look back and miss the actual experience itself. But yeah, but then again, like I said, I just think I'm so excited for what's about to happen that I'm not thinking about the end of this experience. But I'm trying to not be as sad and be more just appreciative and enjoy the last few weeks that we have, because I don't want to let like me feeling almost nostalgic about it while it's happening ruin the moment.
Oh. Okay. That was a good answer. Elise, are you feeling that at all?
I'm just excited. Like I've enjoyed my time, but like I get that it's time to be over and start the next chapter. So I'm just just along for the ride right now.
Elise, do you think at some point down the road you will have that sense of nostalgia or melancholy? Or do you think, are you able to close the door and move and completely like move away from that door? Some people can do that.
I think so. I think a little bit I might be like that. I mean, I'm just like, I'm so excited for what's coming next. Like I try to just be
Yeah.
at wherever I am in the moment. So
Some of you kind of talked a little bit about this next question ahead of time, and that's okay. But I do want to ask this: as you are now preparing to move on, um, I don't care how brave all of you are or say that you are, there has to be some fear or some element of fear there. So I'm going to ask each of you, what are you afraid of right now as you're sitting there a month from graduation, knowing that, or less than a month now, there has to be some fears there. And be honest with me. What are you afraid of with moving forward in the next steps? Everyone's thinking. I can see it.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, go ahead, Sophia.
I don't exactly know what I want to do in college or what I want to do with my life. So I think that definitely scares me a little bit because it's almost like I like too many different things that I can't choose one, and then I feel like I'm going to choose the wrong one, and then I'm going to be stuck doing something that I don't want to do for the rest of my life. But I know that's not really a rational thought because like if I don't like where I'm at, there's definitely ways to get out of it. Or I should know if I'm in college and doing internships, I should know if I don't like it before I do it. But it's just the thought that I'm not going to be able to find something that I like or enjoy.
That's it's an honest answer. Absolutely. Elise, Griff, Emily.
For me, like the next step, the thing I'm most scared of is just like because I'm going to Kent State and I don't like know anyone there. Don't know anyone super close to there besides like I have family in Pittsburgh. So just like figuring out getting comfortable once I'm there with the people around me. Cause I'm not like I need my alone time and like I like people, but like sometimes like being around other people and like having a roommate that I don't know like all the time scares me a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Emily, you afraid of anything?
So Sophia really like summed it up for me. Like I have too many interests. I don't know if those are right for me. Like if I want to major in something in college, which is why I'm like leaning towards a gap year. But sometimes saying that out loud can, I guess, elicit like a.
Yeah.
But I'll get there.
Yeah, you will. All right, Griff, you bring us home. What are you afraid of?
They all pretty much like put it together well. Just, yeah, another thing for me though is just like, am I ready? Like I'm 17 years old right now. I'm going into life, whatever, with a bunch of older people. I'm going to intern at a big church, and I'm not really. I wouldn't say I'm scared. I'm just like how am I gonna do? It's just like it's a big thing, unknown. It's a big step. Um, I feel like everyone should have a bit of like healthy fear in them in a way who's graduating. You know what I
I
mean?
did. I absolutely did.
Yeah.
If we could rewind time to 1998 and I'm sitting there like you guys are, I mean, I had a lot of the same fears that all of you are voicing. I was going away to a school where I didn't know anybody, away from home. And there was that fear. And that was in a time when being connected back to home wasn't as easy as it is today. And also the fear of the unknown alone. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad to hear. I think anyone that says they're not afraid, I think is lying. There has to be some aspect, looking forward that makes you a little bit nervous or maybe, scares you a little bit. And I think that's good. I think that's truly good and helps you grow because all of you, I know, no matter what decisions you're going to make, you're going to be able to, you will all be successful in overcoming whatever fears or obstacles get placed in front of you. I know that. I know that about the four of you. Looking back on the last 12 years of school, and outside of school too, what is something that all of you are proud of?
I mean, for me, that's pretty easy actually because of the student government stuff that we did this year and last year. That was pretty big for me, and giving the students of Central Mountain a voice in administration because it always just frustrated me the entire time that I was at the high school. People just like students complaining about things, but that never being able to reach the people who can actually like do something about it. So getting something started where students do have a way to speak to the people that make decisions for them. That was my prize accomplishment.
So for the audience, just a little bit quick backstory. Elise and Sofia were both extremely instrumental in the creation or the bringing back of a student government at our local school. We had one prior to COVID. COVID kind of killed it and it never came back. And then, as Elise said, a couple of students, her and Sofia being two of them, were tired of just hearing people complain and feeling like they didn't have a voice. The student body didn't have a voice. And they truly pushed for change. And to the point now where this year we have a fully functioning student government that is meeting, that has a representative at school board meetings. They're meeting regularly with administration. I think I agree, Elise, you guys have a lot to be proud of and how far what you guys started and how far it's come. So kudos to both you and Sofia for that. Who's next? Something you're proud of over the last 12 years.
I guess I'll go then.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I agree with Elise. That is definitely something I'm proud of. But something I think for me that's even more personal is my involvement in CTE, because I joined as a junior, so I was definitely a little late. Most people start as freshmen, and I'm proud of myself for sticking with it because it's not something I thought I could do. It takes technical knowledge and experience that I did not have when I started. And so just sticking with that to learn the 3D modeling programs and just like there's so much context to anything that is done. Like at work on Friday, I actually tapped threaded holes and was like machining parts, which I'd never thought I could do that before. But it's just allowing myself to not be afraid to fail at things. And I felt like I definitely recaptured like my love for learning through that stuff. Was because before I felt like sometimes I used learning as a vehicle for achievement, but now it feels like I'm doing it and finding knowledge for its own sake. So I'm definitely really grateful for that experience.
Emily, Griff, something you're proud of or things you're proud of?
I think I'm proud of like, once again, kind of music related, but band and orchestra were like put together last year. So I had to take on more pieces of music. Recognized for one of my concerts, and in a couple of days I'll have my last orchestra concert, and I hope I can be recognized there too for just putting in the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is something to be proud of. Griff?
I'd say it's kind of like two things, like tangible wise. Right after the pandemic, I was looking to get a job, and I really just didn't want to sit and work at Y or something or Walmart. So I started my own lawn care business in eighth grade with no license, asking my dad to drive me around anywhere. And our first year, we only had 2 yards. That's all I did for a whole summer. And now, looking at this year, we have like a little over 20. And so it's super cool. And a lot of people, told me like couldn't do it or whatever. So it's kind of nice now to be able to be in a place where I can like do it, comfortably. And then another thing I'd say for sure is in high school, especially, is the way I've kind of maintained like who I am character wise, because there's a lot of opportunities you have in high school to just go with the crowd or do what everyone else is doing. And I feel like I've really put myself to the test of staying true to, the morals and the things that I believe in, I feel like.
There are people that are in their 40s that haven't come to that realization, and you're 17 and you came to that realization. That's incredible, Griff. The sense of maturity there. Unbelievable. Props to you. I'd be proud of that too if I were you. Holy cow. I know all of you said that you're excited, and I'm sure you are, but I'm going to ask you all this question too. What is something that you are going to miss about high school or Central Mountain in particular? There's got to be something.
Seeing you, Hermaine Ford, come on.
Okay. You get the
Bingo,
bonus point
that's
today.
it.
No, come on now. Let's hear. What are we going to miss?
I feel like definitely I don't know. I feel like everybody comes together more as you get into senior year. I feel like people stop caring about the social structure that was set up in middle school. So I think I'm gonna miss that, like just the closeness that everybody has with each other. Even though a lot of people don't like each other, I feel like it's always gonna be that way. I mean, that's always gonna happen with any social interaction, but I just feel like now everybody is like people will hang out with anybody. They're very open and welcoming. So I think I'm gonna miss that. Like it takes years to build that level of like being comfortable with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to piggyback for sure off what she just said because it's this year I've like hung out with more people than I have in the last 3 years combined. Like it's funny in a way, and it's cool to see how like everyone kind of comes together in that sense of like this is like our last go, let's make the most of it. And that's something that I will miss because like we I mean a lot of us do like a lot of fun stuff. Like even when it comes on to volleyball at Riverview or going out to Ice Shack or just it's the small stuff that I feel like is really something that we'll take for granted. We will appreciate it more once we don't have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah. Emily, something you're gonna miss?
I think I'll miss the routine of just like getting up and going to school. Like, even though we kind of hate it, like, we've grown to that's what we do every day. Like, it'll be foreign to think that we won't have this, within a year's time. Like, I won't see the same people I see every day anymore.
Yeah. 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 Okay, each of you, I'm putting you on the spot now. Tell the audience, and I know some of you aren't quite sure, and that's okay. Be honest with the answer. What are your future plans? Griff, go.
Okay, it took me a second to find that mute button. All right. So next year I got an offer to go up. It's more of a residency than an internship with our main head church that's up in Du Bois, and to work under our youth pastor. I'll be able to stay with him as well. They have like a whole section of their house which they have redone, and I can stay in for free. And I'll be getting my degree online while I do that. And it's funny because I know that's the next step, but I don't know what's after that. But I've done a lot of thinking and reflecting and praying, and that's what I know I'm supposed to go do next. But that's kind of what we're seeing right now.
So a degree in theology or in ministry or?
And yep, in ministry and the communications of it.
Okay. Sofia, I know you already tipped your hat a little bit, but give us the whole story. Where are you going and what are your future plans as it stands right now?
Yep, so in the fall I'll be attending the University of Notre Dame for some type of engineering, not really sure which one yet. I'm probably just going to go in for the first year as just general engineering because they take a lot of the same classes and then decide where I want to go from there. I'm leaning towards more like the chemical side, or I'm also thinking civil, but not so much now, but we'll see. And then maybe double majoring with either business or math or something like that, because business and engineering do go pretty well together.
Okay. Emily, I know you had kind of said something maybe about a gap year, and you and I have talked about this in school, but as it stands right now, what are you thinking for next year and even beyond next year?
Well, the gap year just for work was suggested by my dad, which I think is a good idea. I don't want to jump into something if I don't know, but that's what I want. Originally, I was going to go to Lock Haven for business finance, but I kind of can't see myself being like a finance bro. So, and I do have so many interests. I'm not sure how to narrow it down, but I do want to work, get some money, save up for college, and then when I go, maybe be able to know what major I actually want to go into. Yeah.
Sounds good. Elise, bring us home.
I'm planning on going to Kent State to get my master's degree in architecture, which I'm extremely excited for, especially since they have a good study abroad program where it's pretty typical to go to Florence, Italy first semester, which I'm really looking forward to taking advantage of.
And travel to Germany while you're there.
And travel to Germany, of course, yes.
So architect, you want to be an architect. I mean, that's the long-term goal as it stands right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we've talked shop. We've talked about your futures. We've talked about how you're feeling. We talked about what you're afraid of, what you're proud of. All of my episodes end the same way, where I ask all of my guests 10 quick questions that have nothing to do with anything that we've talked about. And this is just a way for the audience and for myself to get to know all of you a little better. And these are off the wall questions. So just answer them honestly, and we'll see what we get here. Griff, you're going first, and then we'll just go right around the horn here. Question number 1. What is your morning drink of choice?
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. Sophia.
Regular milk.
Regular milk. Elise.
Orange juice.
Orange juice. Emily.
What's the question again?
What is your morning drink of choice?
Just water.
Just water. Nobody's a coffee drinker yet. We'll have to work on that. We'll get you there. We'll get you there. Question number 2. This is probably going to be the hardest one for all of you to answer, because I know all of you. Who is a go-to musical artist or group for you? Elise, go.
Oh my goodness. There's truly so many.
I
I'm
know.
really into Hozier right now because I'm
Hozier?
going
Wait.
to go to a concert this summer. Yeah.
I've never heard of them. Are they an indie band, I take it, or?
He's a guy.
Oh, okay.
Just a
Sorry.
guy.
Just a guy. Just a guy.
Yeah.
Hozier. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Emily.
I like a little bit of everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you do. I know you have broad music tastes. I know that. Emily, go-to music artist or group?
Maybe right now this little indie band called Fansire. But
Okay.
I have it's all over the place.
Okay. Okay. Sophia?
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean. Okay.
Yep.
And Griff?
Oh, I have to say the Beatles or Lauryn Hill. Either of those two.
Lauryn Hill? Really? Wow.
Absolutely.
Good
No, it is a great answer. And the Beatles are a great answer too. Holy cow. Lauryn Hill. I wouldn't have pegged you as a Lauryn Hill listener. Okay, no, fair enough. All right, question number 3. What movie can you watch over and over again and it never gets old? Think. Sophia, go. Oh, go ahead, Elise. Go ahead.
I was literally just watching Monty Python Holy Grail last night.
That's your answer? That's a great movie. Great film. Great film. Who's next?
Okay, I got it.
Go
10
ahead.
Things I Hate About You.
10 Things I Hate About You, Sophia. Okay. Yeah.
It's a good movie.
No, yeah, absolutely. Griff?
Training Day with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke.
Oh, that is a good film. That's a good film. And Emily?
I think Mamma Mia or White Christmas.
Whoa, 2 classics. 2 classics. That's
Not
great.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah. You're Mamma Mia'd out, aren't you, Sophia?
Yeah.
That was our spring musical for those of you listening. So I think 2 of our participants here have been Mamma Mia'd out this spring. All right, number 4. What is the last thing that you read? It could be literally anything. What's the last thing you read? Emily, you're nodding and smiling. Why don't you go first?
Chapter 28 for your class.
Yay!
Dictatorships and
Totalitarianism.
pretty
Awesome.
much.
Great reading. Great reading. Who's next?
I'm reading a book right now called Opium.
Opium. Okay. Is it like the history of opium or?
Yes, it's the history of opium.
Okay. Okay. Elise?
You don't get any more than that.
No, fair enough.
I'm reading Dune Messiah right now.
Okay. Is that fiction?
Yeah, that's the next part of the
in the Dune series. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never read any of those. Okay. Griff.
I will not count the Bible from Sunday from church, but I would think Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I've been reading that.
You're reading Marcus Aurelius. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great book.
No, it is.
Recommend
It is good. It is good. It is good. All right. Here's an easy question. What is your favorite pizza topping? Griff.
Pineapple.
Controversial right out of the gate. Pineapple out of the gate. Sophia.
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni. Emily. Okay. Annalise.
Pepperoni.
Oh, guys, you guys gotta look at the wrong answer. The correct answer is mushroom. Come on, guys.
Okay. No.
No.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
But that's all right. I know I'm right. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Laying on the beach or going for a hike? Emily.
Going for a hike.
Elise.
Going for a hike.
Ooh, Sophia.
Hike.
And Griff.
Swimming at the beach.
So that wasn't one of the options. Come on, Griff. Learn the rules. Come on here. All right.
If I'm
beach.
laying down, then I'm going to choose the hike.
Oh, okay.
But if I can
Oh,
swim, I'll choose the beach.
Okay, fair enough. All right, you have all invited me over for dinner. What are you cooking? Anybody want to go first?
Do I have to know how to cook this, or can it?
No, I guess not. So does that give you an answer? Like, Griff?
Well, not much of a cooker. So I kind of had to cross that out before I gave you my answer.
Well, okay, all right. Elise, you like to cook, don't you?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm DoorDashing Panda Express.
DoorDashing Panda Express. So we're having DoorDash Panda Express. Okay, Sophia.
I'd ask you what your favorite meal is, and then I'd make it for you.
No, that's a cop-out answer. Nope. You gotta tell me. No.
That's what I would do.
No.
Okay, spaghetti and meatballs.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Emily.
Maybe like fried wontons because I love them and maybe you'll love them.
Yeah, no, I love fried wontons. Absolutely. All right, Griff, here we go. Come on. Are we door dashing as well?
Some good stir fry. You can never go wrong with that.
You said you're not a good cook, but
I can make some okay stir fry. That's the one thing I can. That's about it.
Okay, fair enough. All right, question number 8. Dream vacation destination. Go. Oh, come on, guys. Sophia, go.
I think it'd have to be Kyoto.
Kyoto, Japan. Good answer. Great answer. Elise.
I would say Barcelona, Spain.
Ooh, yeah. Emily.
The island where they filmed Mamma Mia.
That's in Greece, isn't it? Somewhere in Greece, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And Griff?
I hear Switzerland's pretty beautiful.
It is. It absolutely is. Now, this next question, this is pure, not in reference to what we talked about earlier. Number 9, what is something that you're afraid of? Not doesn't have to be like the future or anything. That can be an answer, but something you're afraid of. Oh, you guys got to have something.
Snakes.
Snakes for Griff. Okay.
Yep.
Sophia?
You mistook my silence for confidence. It's more like I'm afraid of so many things I couldn't pick one.
Okay. All right.
Like
fair.
big spiders.
Big spiders. Okay. Elise?
Centipedes. Specifically like the silverfish, like you know what I'm talking about? Like,
I do. Yeah, I do. Okay.
They're like, they're everywhere.
They freak you out. They scare you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Emily, something you're scared of?
Maggots. I hate those things.
Okay. All right. Last question. Question number 10. I know we've kind of talked about future plans, and I know you guys are young, but I ask everybody this question. What's a dream job you'd like to have?
I mean, as an architect, I would love to like one day design like a huge like stadium or like museum in like a big city. Like that's one of my goals.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Griff, dream job?
If I could like just travel around the world and like either be like a photographer or just like rate like parks or places or anything, just traveling. That's just
that would be an awesome job. Yeah, it would.
Oh.
Yeah, it would. Sophia?
Oh, I have absolutely no idea. There's so many different things that I want to do. I just think like as an engineer, just designing something really cool that nobody's ever seen before. I don't know what that would look like though, but definitely like Griff said, I would really, really like to travel.
Get paid to travel? Yeah, that's like the ultimate for me. I know, or one of the ultimates for me. Emily, dream job?
I think something artsy that can keep me creative, where I can kind of do whatever, but that's why it's the dream.
Yeah, no, right? Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, our time has come to an end, and I just want to take a couple minutes to personally thank each of you and say why I chose each of you for this episode. It's my chance. I don't know if we'll get to talk at graduation because graduation's always really crazy with everybody there. So let me just tell each of you what you mean to me and why I chose each of you. I'll start with Emily because I know Emily the least out of the four of you. Emily took my AP class this year. She didn't take any German before, so I met her as a senior. And actually, I only got to know her since January because we do these semester classes at Central Mountain. And Emily, I would just like to say that I was impressed by you from the start. Your demeanor, your personality, your quietness, but yes, you are quiet, but when you speak, you say something. You always say something. And I mean that in the deepest sense of it. You're never a superficial on the surface person. And I want to thank you for the work that you've done this year and how I've gotten to know you, and I appreciate you. And I know that whether you take that gap year or not, you're going to be a very successful young lady someday. And I look forward to maintaining our new friendship as you move on. Elise. No, I'm going to go to Sofia next. Sofia, I got to know later on too as a junior because she took my history class. She decided not to take any German either. It's all right. We all make mistakes. And Sofia took my history class last year. And coming into the class, when other teachers saw my roster, my list, every teacher that saw it said, "Oh, Sofia Dressler's taking your class? Boy, you're going to love her." And there was all this hype and buzz around Sofia Dressler. And I was thinking to myself, nobody can be, this is what is this? What is this nonsense? Nobody can have that kind of buzz. And then I got to know Sofia and see her in action in the classroom, and I had to agree with all those other teachers that created the buzz around you. In my 22 years of teaching, I've had very few students that look at the world the way that you do, analytically, but analytically in a way that you can also express yourself in a way that anybody can understand what you're trying to say. I've had students that can't do that. I've had a lot of students that can't do that. And you're one of the few that have been able to do that. And I truly appreciate and miss our daily conversations that we used to have in class, whether we were debating a topic or discussing something about history or even just about life. I always enjoyed those conversations. And I know too that moving forward, no matter what road you travel down, you will be extremely successful. And I look forward to congratulating you many times in the future for the great accomplishments that you will achieve. I know it. I know it. Elise Cygan, I've known since freshman year. She did take German, and Elise is the kind of kid that I think that a lot of teachers wish they could have, because she's a hard worker. She does everything you ask her to do. She gives it her all. At least she did in my classes. I can't speak for her other classes, but she always did this. She did what she needed to do, never complained, always had a smile on her face, and often was quick with a witty comment, a smart comment, and also was not afraid to engage in hard conversations, whether it was in our history class, in German class, or now as we move forward with this student government that we talked about. Elise has always been a bulldog in a good sense, and I appreciate that about you, and I've always appreciated that about you. And I know as well, moving forward, I think you will design some museum someday, and I can't wait to walk into it and get my picture next to the plaque that has your name on it, saying that you designed that building, Elise. And Griff, I've known Griff since freshman year as well. Griff was super quiet as a freshman. In fact, I had his older sister, and his older sister was quite a personality in a good way. And Griff was the opposite of his sister, Sydney. And I was expecting another little Sydney, but Griff was not little Sydney by any stretch of the imagination. And honestly, Griff, through freshman year, I didn't really know what to think of you because you never said anything. I often had to wake you up a couple times. Freshman year. I don't know if you remember that or not, because you were asleep. But you never gave up, and you kept coming back year after year. And how much you've grown and matured in the last 4 years has been an unbelievable thing to watch. I have seen you go from that quiet little freshman that fell asleep in class to a leader, someone that other students respect and look up to. And your choice moving forward with following your faith and what your faith is telling you to do is truly admirable, coming from someone that is a person of faith. And I wish you all the best. I know you also are going to be successful, and I know that you will bring much joy to people in their future. And also, I know that you will be a voice in times of trouble for people that need that as well. So all four of you are great people. I just want to say that. And I am very blessed that I have been able to be part of your lives over the last couple of years. I hope that as we move forward, we can keep in touch, because I want to keep hearing about your successes as you move forward. And thank you for doing this and getting the opportunity to tell my audience about the great students that I get to work with day in and day out for the last however many years that I've been doing this. You have continued that tradition. Thank you so much to the four of you, and I wish you all the best moving forward.
That's a lot of glazing.
I did glaze there, but that was truth. I was spitting truth there about all four of you. There was no glazing there whatsoever. Thank you all.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Maidenford.
Thank you.
I'm glad I lived up to the hype.
I'm glad you did too. All right, guys, thanks for coming on the show, and we'll talk real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Doug's Front Porch, a conversational podcast with your host, Doug Maidenford. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Your ratings and reviews will help others find the show. You can follow along on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Just look for Doug's Front Porch. If you would like to financially support our endeavors, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes. I thank you in advance for any contributions. Please feel free to tell all your friends about the show, and I'll see you all next time on my Front Porch.